Footsteps moved down the hall, and I realized at once that whoever this was, it wasn't my mom or dad. When they went to Spirit Society meetings, they went dressed in their Sunday best, which meant high-heeled pumps for my mom and leather-soled dress shoes for my dad. Whoever was in the house was wearing squeaky rubber soles. The hair on the back of my neck stood up when I heard those footsteps coming closer. I backed to the far side of the room, searching frantically for anything I could use as a weapon. I almost laughed as I picked up the only thing I could find that was even remotely weapon-like, a letter opener. If I got attacked by a giant rabbit envelope, I was prepared. The study door swung open and an unfamiliar man stepped in, dressed in faded, tattered jeans and a wife-beater that showed off about a zillion tattoos on each arm. He looked very much like your stereotypical city-dwelling predator. If this were someone else's house and someone else's life, I might suspect he was a burglar, but I knew that wasn't the case even before he smiled at me.
Ms. Kingsley, I presume?
I blinked and brandished the letter opener, feeling vaguely ridiculous. Who the hell are you? His smile stayed in place.
I'll take that as a yes, and you might as well put your, weapon down. You won't find it terribly useful against me.
On the one hand, I couldn't expect him to be intimidated by a letter opener. On the other hand, something about the way he said that made me think he wouldn't be much more intimidated by a big-ass hunting knife, which meant he was probably a demon, and considering what I'd learned from Raphael, I had a pretty good guess just which demon this was. Of course, I wasn't supposed to know anything about Der Jaeger, so I didn't let on that I had any idea who I was facing. I think I'll keep it, thanks. With my left hand, I rummaged in my purse, hoping to find my phone. I didn't think I'd have an opportunity to call in the cavalry, but I figured there was no harm in trying. Der Jaeger kept smiling at me, but it was an eerie, cold smile.
Put it down, or I'll be forced to take it from you. Trust me, you would not enjoy the experience.
He seemed to know who I am. My questing fingers finally found the phone. I could hardly hear my own voice over the pounding of my heart, but bravado was so natural to me, I was pretty sure I sounded less scared than I was. If you know that, then you know I'm not just gonna roll over for you. His smile broadened.
Yes, I was counting on that.
I had just flipped open my phone when he flung himself at me. I was ready for him, so I made sure my makeshift knife was between us. He ignored it, slamming into me and knocking me to the floor, his own momentum forcing the letter opener into the hilt. My head slammed against the floor, and I wish my parents had opted for more padding under the carpet. Both my hands opened against my will. As I struggled for breath, Der Jaeger grabbed my purse, flinging it across the room. The hilt of the letter opener protruded from his chest just below the bottom of his sternum, but though blood flowed from the wound, he didn't seem to mind. He flipped me over onto my stomach, pinning my hands behind my back and sitting on me. His grip on my wrist was crushing, and I knew he could break the bones easily if he wanted to.
Now that we've established that fighting me is not worth your while, let's have a nice chat.